Hi ladies, Dionysia here, wanting to take some time out with you this week to speak to you about the sacred sites aspect of our upcoming Croatia tour. So you've heard me speak to some of the transformational work we're going to be doing. You're going to be hearing more about that in the next couple of weeks. And you've heard me speak to the tremendous beauty of the food and the culture. And I just wanted to also highlight some of the sacred sites that we're going to be visiting on this trip. And what do we get out of visiting sacred sites? I'm sure that many of you have visited sacred sites before, and know the power of those places. And these particular sites that we're going to be visiting are related to either female saints or specific goddesses. And to go and meet the goddess of a new land, the goddess of a new place, it's actually really exciting for me. This will be a new experience for me with the goddess of this particular land. I've experienced many of them in other places, so I'm excited now to experience a new one. And also to be learning about the female saints, because interestingly enough, during the transition time of the churches coming in and taking over what had been power in the hands of women largely, and women as spiritual leaders, but also just pagan life, just people of the country, people of the land, and the way that people worshipped before the church was instated. And during that changeover time, when the church was coming in and taking over and instating itself, a lot of what happened is that they took names and faces and qualities and characteristics of the goddesses of those lands and made them into female saints. Gave those attributes to women of the time, or women who were higher up in like the nunneries or things like that. And so anytime that we go into a land where that has been the case, which is, you know, a large part of the earth, especially in Western culture, then we're going to be, you know, often standing on hilltops, because that's where pagan people worshipped. And then when the church came in, they just built their churches on top of those places. There are a lot of famous places like that throughout Europe. And also, we just sort of see that female saints get upheld in various places and in various churches, and then that's sort of where worship turned to in terms of a female's place inside of the church and inside of worship. But when we go back to their origin places, their origin points, we can actually feel the power of who they were before they were sort of usurped and you know, turned into what the church wanted them to be. In this particular place, we're going to be getting to know several saints. Their names are in the email below. And we're going to be, for sure, experiencing Holy Mother Mary, because interestingly enough, Mother Mary was the one female of the church stories, of the biblical stories, who got uplifted into a godlike power, a godlike stance, right? So Mother Mary is known throughout the Catholic Church and throughout the Christian world as being the mother of Christ. We all know that. And so she's revered in the church, and you can see her in churches all over the place, but especially in Europe, she's revered in a specific kind of way. She's really upheld as holy in a beautiful way, and there are lots of feast days for her that really celebrate her. So we're going to be definitely meeting Holy Mother Mary in the beauty of the sacred sites of Croatia, and her energy, which is love, compassion, the depth of holding that comes from the mother. So that's going to be a really, really beautiful aspect of our time together in Croatia. And secondly, we're going to for sure be meeting up with my favorite face of the goddess, Venus. Now, Venus is the Roman name for Aphrodite, which was her Greek name, but in either case, she's the goddess of love and beauty, right? She's the goddess of the beauty of the marriage of heaven and earth. And to get to meet her in those sacred lands where she was revered for thousands of years, and her energy still sort of infuses the land there, is a beautiful, beautiful experience. And we get to draw from that. This is how this benefits us, right? We get to draw from that energy and feel it in ourselves and know it in ourselves, and just let ourselves be infused by it, to breathe her in, to absorb her. Whether, you know, where you are in your life right now could really use some of that divine mother energy, or could use some of that divine lover energy, or both. Those are going to be available to you on this trip. We're going to be in their sacred sites. We're going to be in the places that have been built up around the energy of what they were, and we're going to be in the places that still hold that energy. So I wanted to take a moment out and share that with you today. You can see a lot more about that in the email below, as well as beautiful images to sort of spark some excitement in you about that. As you've probably heard me say, we have several spaces left for this trip. We have a beautiful group of women that has come together to go to Croatia with us, but we do have some space for you still if you'd like to join us. Registration is going to be closing soon, so please do reach out if you're thinking about it, if you have questions about it, if there's anything that you want to know that we haven't spoken to yet through emails and videos. I'd be happy to get on a call with you, or even just an email exchange. Just let me know. But in any case, you're going to have this opportunity on this trip to meet Mother Mary in one of her origin places, to meet Venus in one of her origin places, in the beauty of Croatia, and how she was held there, how she was revered there, how her energy still lives in the lands and the sacred sites there. And also, you might see from our title, we're very excited to have added Italy to this trip. Now, we're not, of course, going to go explore all of Italy. We're just talking about a day trip because we really want to keep ourselves in a restful state and not add on too much. It just so happened that we're close enough to Italy, and it works out in our itinerary to add this day trip to Italy. It's going to be just, beautiful. And we're very, very excited about the opportunity to offer that to you as well. So again, I hope you'll join us. Please do reach out, sending big love to you, and come bask in Mother Mary with us. Come bask in Venus.